All right, I'm going to show you how to do an eccentric Thomas stretch. So eccentric just means that we are contracting the muscle, but still allowing it to lengthen. And so this can be a really good mobility exercise to address like tight hip flexors. Okay. I'm going to show you just body weight so we can talk about technique. And then at the end of the video, we can talk about the different ways that you can kind of be creative adding resistance to it. You want to find a surface that you can lay on and that it's stable to hold your body weight. And we want it to at least be high enough so that you can actually get into the stretched position. So you don't want to lay on something that's so low that you don't actually get a stretch of your hip flexors when you're doing this exercise. So for this demonstration, I'm going to do my left leg so that you can kind of see things a little bit more clear. So when I lay down, I want to make sure that really I'm just on the edge of this table so that my legs can actually come off into the stretched position. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by laying on our back. Because my right leg is not what we're working on, I'm actually just going to hold that up and out of the way. And that's also going to help me counterbalance my body as the weight of the leg is coming down. So here's my stretched position. You just want to make sure that wherever you're on, you're high enough that you can actually let the leg dangle for the stretch. Outside of there, you want to get into our start position, which is going to be our leg in a 90-degree position with the knee also bent to about 90 degrees too. As with all of your exercises, you want to make sure that your core is engaged, especially the lower abdominal muscles, so that we don't want any bulging because we want to make sure that the spine and the pelvis are completely stable and not moving as the leg is moving down. So with core engaged, what you're going to do is you're going to slowly and control the leg coming down into the stretched position. And we really want to make sure we get down to that actual stretched position before we come back up. Okay, so it's all about the keywords slow and controlled. Now, if you're lowering your leg and you feel or hear your hip clunk, that is usually a very audible sign that you're not engaging your core enough during wherever your leg is. So what you need to do if you hear a clunk is really make sure that you're engaging your core when it hits that angle. Okay, so that's going to be our eccentric Thomas stretch. So different ways that you can add resistance. You don't have to go very heavy when we're talking about eccentrics. So it's more about maybe higher repetition versus having a ton of weight on. I'm going to recommend when you first start, see about like 5 to 10 pounds, see how you feel, starting off with the lighter weight first. I mean, if you have ankle weights, that's a really easy thing to do, is just strap some ankle weights on your ankle to create a little bit more weight for you to have to lower. You can also take a kettlebell if you have those available. Remember, just keep it light. We don't want to have those big, heavy 35-pound kettlebells hooked on. And what you'll do is you'll just flex the foot and then you'll hold the kettlebell as you're lowering down. I am going to recommend you wear shoes when you do that one. Now, I've even had people who maybe they don't have a kettlebell, but maybe they have a couple of like little hand dumbbells laying around. You can even just take the dumbbell and just like ace wrap it around your foot just to create a little bit of weight. We don't necessarily have to go out and buy a whole bunch of fancy things. We can kind of just do what we have available. But essentially, that's how you can add a little bit of extra weight as you're doing the eccentric Thomas stretch.